Wow, that was quick. All right. Hey, this Rashid. You know what? I just wanted to go live for a few minutes and talk about something that is just tripping me out. Andrew Yang is one of the president candidates for 2020 or 2021, whichever way you want to look at it. And so he's looking to get that Democratic nomination. And me, being a person that's pretty much never been involved in any president campaign, I understand what's going on. I listen to some of the talks and just to get an idea. But at the end of the day, it's a system, it's a machine. It is what it is. The whole presidency in the U.S. is a machine. And so when you become part of that, whatever ideals, whatever promises you made, whatever policies that you thought you were going to put out there and put in place, history has clearly shown that what you say as a presidential candidate can and most likely will not be implemented. So it's okay if you want to follow somebody. It's okay to vote red or blue. It's okay, to be committed to one candidate or the other. But at the end of the day, you need to understand, audience, that it really probably doesn't matter who you vote for, because the electoral college is going to determine who gets nominated and basically who wins. It's clear. If the popular vote was in effect and actually was utilized, right? Other than, the vote tampering and all that kind of stuff in Georgia and some other places in Florida, then Hillary Clinton would be president right now if popular vote was the thing that determined who actually would sit in the White House. But obviously, that's not the case. Trump won more electoral college votes, and Hillary Clinton won the popular vote. So it's nonsense, because you would think that, hey, my vote counts. Because if I vote and millions of people like me vote, that person should go into office. Unfortunately, it didn't happen, doesn't happen, and probably won't ever happen. So that being said, I'm supporting one of the candidates. I'm following one of the candidates. I'm fully behind one of the candidates. So this time, because of our current president, our current, political climate, is horrible. My values and my standards are way, way higher than what is going on in the office. When you got a cat that says, hey, I'm not going to do any business while I'm in office, even though I'm an entrepreneur, I'm not going to do any business. I'm going to give all that to my sons and daughters. But then not even a month after he's in office, his sons and daughters are going from country to country, India, Philippines, trying to buy some stuff out in Russia. I mean, cat is making money hand over fist. No integrity for the office of presidency. So, I could go on and on and on, but I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about, one, the person that I believe has the best chance to beat Trump and has the best policies to help, black, white, and the immigrant situation, any religious affiliation, doesn't matter. At the end of the day, help all Americans and the people that want to come to the country and get citizenship at a point. He's got a good plan for that as well. One, because he is an immigrant himself. So the person, Andrew Yang, right, is the person that I believe has the best chance to win the actual presidency against Trump. Period. Point blank, period. You can talk about Biden. You can talk about Bernie. You can talk about um, um, O'Rourke. You can talk about Klobuchar. You can talk about Pete Buttigieg. Not even talking about. He's not even in the running. Um, People may like him. People may have some issues with him that they like. I don't. Period. And I have my reasons for that. Then you have Elizabeth Warren. I think she's legit. I think she's been put on a lot of pressure. I think she's had some issues that she had to clear up. She made some false statements in her past. I think none of them are clean. Like I said, Andrew Yang just happens to be more clean, or not. We just hadn't found anything in his past that would throw some shade on his beautiful life. He's a wonderful wife. He has kids. One of his kids is autistic. He has a great background. He has awards from the Obama administration for entrepreneurship. He's doing great things. He's always done great things. So I haven't found anything bad about him. And the only thing that people are attacking him about is his foundational running theme, and that is freedom dividend. Give every adult, every American adult, $1,000 a month as a basic income, just for the dignity of being an American in the richest country in the world. And why? One, because he wants to stimulate the economy. Two, he talks about automation, not immigration, is the problem. So if automation is the issue, it's no secret when you look around, you see Amazon being the largest, moneymaker in the world as far as what they do in their space, right? They're actually creating automated opportunities wherever they can find them. They're delivering, FedEx is the biggest, expedited carrier in the world. But Amazon has created their Amazon Prime as a logistics hub, as a supplier, but they have taken on the actual delivery as well. And it ain't delivery in 2 days. It ain't delivery in 3 days. It's more like delivery in 3 hours. You order it, you get it the same day. FedEx can't even do that. So here is a company that has stepped it up to that level. So that's why they're the most popular. They are utilizing their crowdsourcing in order to stay ahead, to lead and not follow. This is powerful. And you're an entrepreneur. Jeff Bezos is a very intelligent guy. I mean, just like with Bill Gates, when Apple was doing their thing, when Linux was doing their thing, Apple did a great job, but they couldn't break into the market like Microsoft, because Microsoft was very intelligent. Microsoft looked at what was going on, and you're going to blame Bill Gates for being an entrepreneur, to being a leader, trendsetter, because he decided to take a chip and create a program that every computer would need forever. And you're mad at him? Why? It's nothing wrong with that. So same thing with Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos went from logistics, supplying, products. Now he's supplying services and groceries. So he buys out Whole Foods. He's supplying services, right? And he's creating it to where you can walk in the store. There is no person that you have to deal with. There may be people sitting around, but you're not going to have 10 or 15 people. You may have one person that's monitoring the operation. You walk in, you pick what you want, you scan your hand, you scan your retina, you scan something, even if it's a card, you scan it and you walk out the store with your products. Why? Because it's already registered in the system. When you walk in the door, you're registered. So they know who's coming in, and they've already got a database with what you purchase most often. And so when you pick up a product, it's barcoded. It's already got your code because you're the one scanning it. So they know who's buying it, they know how much you have deposited, and they know who's walking out the store with this product. You don't need a person for that. So Andrew Yang is talking about trucks and truck drivers, autonomous trucks. Tesla's already doing it. That's one aspect. Now, let me just focus on that, because there's two articles, one from Politico, one from a Salt Lake Tribune, Salt Lake City. Some guy named Rick Lowry. He wants to talk about Andrew Yang as a snake oil salesman. Politico wants to say he's a snake oil salesman because he wants to give money to people, not jobs. Okay, but I think at the end of the day, you're going to support who you're going to support, and so you'll find ways to try to discredit what they're doing. That's how it is. I mean, Biden. Why do you think Biden's leading? Because black people have one thing on their mind. He worked with Obama, so he must be the next president. No, he don't even know what he's saying half the time. Then you got Bernie, same thing. Bernie didn't win last time, so people feel sorry for him. He's getting older. People feel sorry for him. He has a heart attack. People still feel sorry for him. And so you're going to have, some of the outsiders or the outliers within the Congress being Cortez, and then you have Ilhan Omar. They want to go ahead and put their support behind him. Come to find out, they've worked with him before. They've put in time with him before, and that's fine. That's fine. You know what? It's okay for a Muslim and a Jew to work together in the Congress. I'm all for it. But at the end of the day, why you're putting your money behind um, a person that's not going to excel at the job? It's a high pressure job. You can look at Obama. Obama walked in with nice black, smooth, wavy hair. Within about a week, my man was white, gray, from gray to white, because it's not an easy job. It's a lot of challenges, right? So your heart got to be right when you walk in the door. And so I wouldn't put my money behind. That's throwing money away, right? So your donations are thrown away if you put it behind somebody that's not going to be able to handle the pressure. So I ain't saying the guy ain't smart, but he's done his part. Take his policies, incorporate them with somebody else that's going to be around for a while. Now, and that's just statistically. I'm not saying that he will or won't make it for the next 4 years, but come on, you need somebody thinking forward, right? You ain't gonna get no free lunch. You're not gonna get no free education. You're not gonna get no free health care. It's there's somebody got to pay for that stuff, right? So that's why when Andrew Yang talks about giving $1,000 a month, he explains where the money's coming from. But even though he explains it 100 times a week, that's the first question that somebody wants to ask him. Every single time they want to say, "Oh, Andrew Yang, aren't you the guy that's giving away $1,000? Hey, where are you going to get that from? That's just not possible. Hey, that trillion, where's the $1 trillion going to come from? That's just too much." Why do people keep asking that question when he answered it every time he talks? He is very consistent with what he says. His policies are clear. He tells you exactly what the policy is. He tells you what the problem is, and he tells you the solution. He says it every single time, and he's very consistent. Just like Tony Robbins, just like Brandon Bouchard, just like Brian Tracy, just like Jim Maxwell. When they speak, when they tell their story, they're very consistent. And Eric Thomas does the same thing, and um, Les Brown. When they speak, you can count on hearing their story exactly like it was last time. And so Martin Luther King used to do the same thing. So what Andrew Yang has done, he has taken that, and Obama did the same thing as well. So when they speak, there's consistency. Why? Because he knows in politics they're going to find some way to discount you. But what he has done, he has not given them any ammunition, because he's very consistent and he's very certain with what he says. So when he talks about the UBI, or the freedom dividend, or the universal basic income, he always references Malcolm Payne. He always references um, Martin Luther King. He references Richard Nixon presidency, because it did pass the House. So Politico and the Washington Post, they did a fact check and said, you know what? We can't say he was wrong, but he didn't give you all the data behind it. But he already knows the data. But he only has a sound bite. He only has, a couple of minutes to speak on stage. So he can't give you all the history. So what he does is he gives you, here's the facts. And what he says before or after he makes a statement is, I have the data. I have reviewed the data. My friends in Silicon Valley are creating autonomous vehicles, or creating, trucks that drive themselves. He has already made that clear that he is the front runner, because he understands what's coming. Everybody else is talking about the past. He's talking about the future. Why do you want a president in office that feels like they know what happened last year? Why do you want, just like Andrew Yang says, why would you want the fourth best search engine when you can have the best search engine? Come on, people. I mean, and if you really want to know, Google is great, but Brave search engine is better. Just saying. So anyway, I really wanted to just have that conversation with you, because I've been holding out, researching, Andrew Yang, trying to figure out what it is about him that may not pass the smell test. I ain't found nothing, and I've been following this guy for maybe a couple of months, and I'm like, wow, this cat he's the real deal. You know, I mean, I can sit here and talk about Biden. I can talk about Bernie. I can talk about Hunter, Biden's son, that's taking that money, from Ukraine, and how he went over there and twist their arm, use some extortion to get his son out of there, and fire the guy that basically was doing some investigations on him. I don't need to talk bad about them. Trump, I mean, that just goes without saying. You can talk all day about the nonsense that he's doing, but you can check my Facebook page if you want to find out more about what he's doing, because I regularly can't help it. I mean, it's just ridiculousness. It's R Hanif Hill on Facebook. So yeah, you can check that. But the two things that I wanted to talk about today, one was the article by Politico the other day, right after the October 15th Democratic debates. You know, you got the Hill, you got CNN, you got the Washington Post. You got everybody saying that Andrew Yang clearly stepped it up and and uh, you know just crushed it uh, on this debate. He was the leader. He was one of the top winners in the debate. And why is that? One of the reasons is when he spoke about UBI, or the Universal Basic Income, there were others on stage. Tulsi Gabbard, she supported him on stage verbally. And Miss Elizabeth Warren, she supported him on stage. Biden supported him, and who else was on stage? Um, well, Harris, I know she ain't supporting nobody. So anyway, I did an article about it on my group on Facebook, Ready for Yang. So there were four up there that highlighted UBI as a possibility. UBI as a consideration. UBI should be tested. They're talking about it. If you want to find out about UBI and where it works, one, obviously the dividend is working in Alaska, but the other one, like real time, over in Stockton, California. So in Stockton, California, the mayor, youngest mayor, very successful, doing great things. Um, turning things upside down. Got people like scratching their heads trying to figure out, wait, man, how's he turning this city around? Well, the young man that's running, a young brother actually, that is the mayor over there in Stockton, California. He's doing a trial, $500 a month to families, not asking no questions, not just give me some feedback on what you're doing with the money. That's all he's saying. Give me the feedback on what you're doing with the money. So, same thing. I don't care if you're rich or poor. It's not about that. It's about being American. So in Stockton, it's about being a citizen. If you have citizenship and you are in college, you got a job, whatever it is, here's the $500 a month. We're gonna give it to you. We're gonna give you a card, um, debit card. We're gonna put the money on there, and so we can track it, and everything. But we want to make sure that give us some feedback. Let us know what you're doing with it. And some people are, paying extra bills, and some people are paying on their car, paying their insurance, hospital issues, maybe taking care of a mother, a sick family member. Some people saying they're just paying their subscriptions, prescription, like subscriptions like Netflix or um, cable, stuff like this, paying their phone bill. I mean, things that they were having trouble paying, that $500 a month is helping them take care of a little bitty things like that. Daycare. Some people can't even pay daycare. If you pay $400 every 2 weeks or $400 a month for daycare, right now you get that $500, it goes toward daycare. That frees up a lot of other things because now you don't have the stress of taking care of that child and trying to find somebody to take care of and asking them to, hey, when I get paid, I'll make sure I get you. Um, can you take a little bit now, a little bit later? I mean, come on. You know what? Who wants to go through that? The dignity of having a little extra cash to take care of those things that you can't take care of fully on a regular is so important. So when you hear Rick Lowry at the Salt Lake Tribune, or you hear Politico that wants to say one week they want to say that Andrew Yang, crushed it and is leading the polls, and then the next week you want to say that he's a snake oil salesman. I mean, it's ridiculous. I can understand the doubt. I understand, even Patrick David, this valuetainment YouTube channel. I can understand him, being from Iran and, coming from a Marxist and having this, what you call, he wants to have this progressive lifestyle, and he has some success and he's doing real well. And he got his insurance and all the things that are anti-Islamic. Okay. You go out there and you succeed in this life. You'll pay for it later. But here's the interesting thing. You want to talk about something wrong with giving away money because you weren't brought up that way. I get it. I understand it. But I understand what he's doing and why he's doing it. Yes, we should not take something that we don't earn. I get it. There is no give me something for nothing. I get that. But there's a reason why he's doing what he's doing, and I understand that too. So if the government is going to do that, then you have to decide how you're going to utilize that gift. It's up to you. It's a gift. You can do what you want to with it. Jeff Bezos doesn't need $1,000. We know that. But guess what? If you don't give it to him now, you're just doing a welfare plan. So now the people that have are paying into the have-nots. But it's going to happen anyway. If you do a wealth tax, if you do a VAT, whatever the tax is, because every president nominee has to do some type of tax on the wealthy in order to have enough money to put back into the system. Now, they can tax cigarettes, they can tax alcohol, they can do all of those things. It's been done, and it can do it again. But the money's got to come from somewhere. I get that. But at the end of the day, we know that just somebody filing a tax and you getting $500 credit or a $600 credit. What if you don't make but $6,000 a year and you don't have to file your taxes? You don't get no extra because you're struggling already. So where are you going to get any help? It ain't gonna happen. So any way you slice it, my wife, she has not worked for a long time because I take care of the home. I do that from my job, my earnings. I make sure we're taking care of it, and the kids and her mother as well, and put her sisters through college and so on and so forth. I'm saying that because I know how hard it is. Even though I'm not in the lower bracket, I'm not in the poverty bracket. I'm doing very well, and we're doing great. But if we had an extra $300 a month, it would lift a weight off of my shoulders. It would be amazing. So I don't need it, but I'm just saying if that was something that was offered, then I could see where I could use it to benefit my family better, to do things for that I may have had to say no in the past, but hey, with that, I probably could say yes. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just looking at it from a personal perspective, but I'm looking at it from a communal perspective. There are so many people out there worse off than me, and we give to them all the time. But if you gave me an extra 1,000, then I could give them 100 or 200 versus the 10 or the 20. And maybe that will help them as well, because everybody's not going to get the dividend. Because if you don't have an address, or you don't have, you don't go and have a place where you can call home, then you may be out of the loop when these things go down and you never get it. But it may be because you're on hard time, maybe because you have mental problems, maybe there's a reason that you can't get to it. Well, guess what? The people that give are going to ensure that locations, housing, food shelters, humanitarian aid, they're going to get boosted up. They're gonna not need the government assistance, because people like myself will take that extra UBI that Andrew Yang is proposing and make sure that those charities, that those humanitarian aid and those food shelters and those housing places are taken care of. The single parents that are struggling, boom, taken care of. And that's $1,000 per adult in the household. So if you got two adults, then that's 2,000. That's 24,000 a year. My wife doesn't have to work. She can take care of the kids. She can make sure they go to school. She can attend every single event, and she can volunteer if she likes. And she can bring in the cupcakes, and she can bring in the arts and crafts, and she can be there for the PTA. She can be there for all of that stuff. And guess what? I can too. Why? Because I can take off. I don't have to worry about saying I gotta work, gotta work, gotta work. I can say, hey, I need to go and take some time with my child, which I do now, but it's just easier when you don't have to stress about it. So I just want to put that out there, that there are people that are going to hate. MSNBC, I love you. Rachel Maddow, I love your show. Y'all are great people. But you got to stop being blatantly biased when it comes to Andrew Yang. Andrew Yang raised over $10 million in his campaign, and you left him off. But you put a $6 million man up there, as in Booker. I ain't mad at Booker. I'm just tripping because You know that ain't right. Then just yesterday or today, I see it again. How is it that you're just so pissed off that this entrepreneur Andrew Yang, that's only doing good things for the community? Ever since he's been doing business, he's been doing good things for kids. He's doing good things for students. He's doing good things. He's getting people jobs, entrepreneurs. He's helping business grow. And you want to find a way to put Cory Booker up there after he raised less money than Andrew Yang. I love Cory Booker. I think he's doing a great job. But I'm comparing numbers to numbers. Be fair about it. I just don't understand how you can be an agency, a news agency that's supposed to be fair and equitable, and you're not doing it. And you're blatant as the president in lies and trickery. It's horrible that I see this happening because I respect your station. I got you on XM radio all day. I don't even change the channel. And I see this, like, come on. Come on. I know you won't Biden or Bernie or Elizabeth Warren. You may even want Harris to win. I don't know. You want Pete and because of his background, whatever. No. Be real. Be real. Andrew Yang has earned a spot in the top 5. He didn't just fall in there. Everybody that knows it, he earned it. He got the supporters that want him up there. But you want to make sure you sideline him because you see him growing. Well, guess what? It's happened throughout history that when y'all don't play fair, he don't need you. He don't need you. You need him. So Salt Lake City Tribune, Rick Lowry, you the snake salesman. You the snake oil salesman, not Andrew Yang. And he's going to prove his point. Politico, you the snake oil salesman, not Andrew Yang. Just watch and see. Yang 2020. Humanity first. He's taking care of people. That's what he's doing. America needs a change. And if America want to change, you can change with Yang. Yang2020.com. Facebook, Ready for Yang. I'm Rashid Hill and I'm out. Peace.